Hello, Tamara Leach with Rebel News here, and I have just finished watching the testimony this morning for the Standing Committee on Canadian Heritage around the current media landscape in Canada. We saw some explosive testimony from former CBC host Travis Don Raj and allegations of intimidation and bullying, gatekeeping, and an attempt to stifle conservative voices on his show and his panels while he was trying to present a more diverse set of opinions on the CBC. Mr. Don Raj testified that David Cochrane from the CBC, in conversation about me and the Freedom Convoy, suggested that perhaps I was from the trailer park or lived in a mobile home.
When it came to Mr. Cochrane, this is during the convoy, for example. We were talking about Tamara Litch, who was an individual who was involved in the convoy. We were doing a story around that. Off-the-hand remarks can be made at times. And I said, I think that she has a couple of different last names. People who live in trailers usually do. Okay, off-color remark.
I find that pretty interesting coming from David Cochrane. Now, a few weeks ago, I was with Rebel News at the CPC convention in Calgary, where I snapped a unflattering photo of David Cochrane and Rosemary Barton sitting there in their chairs while Pierre Poilievre was delivering his keynote speech. They couldn't have possibly looked any more disinterested. Rosie was busy fixing her makeup. David was busy looking at text messages on his phone. Because of the unflattering nature of the photo, David Cochrane went to the media relations of the CPC and asked them to come and speak to me about removing this post because of its unflattering nature, which I did, actually. I find it a little ironic that he's so thin-skinned over a photo. And let's face it, the CBC doesn't publish very flattering photos of me or anyone from the Freedom Convoy, if we're being honest. So then here we have this gentleman dismissively suggesting that my opinion is completely worthless and I am of no value because he thinks I live in a trailer park. Now, even more concerning than that is, this is just a symbol of a greater problem. And this is what we saw in Ottawa when we were there with the Freedom Convoy. There is an element there that looks down upon working class Canadians, people that get their hands dirty for a living, and basically anyone that doesn't work at CBC headquarters or in Parliament itself. This frustrates a lot of people. This frustrates a lot of Westerners to be so dismissed like that. It's fascinating that David Cochrane has never reached out to me to ask me any questions, not even to ask what type of dwelling that I live in, or maybe even if he wants to have a conversation with a regular, everyday Canadian citizen.